Hi everyone, Lisa Jane here, coming to you from my healing room in Cape Town, South Africa. Welcome back if this is another video you're watching, and welcome to all those that might be new. From my home and my healing room here, I send you love and blessings wherever you are. In this particular video, it's a very deep and meaningful message that I'm going to try and share with you about how we are all co-creators of the universe. But if you haven't watched any of my other videos, please browse my channel. Please hit the subscribe notification, share if you feel you need to share. And really, whenever this video finds you, it's the right time. Like with all of my videos, I hold the energy and the intention for your healing and highest good. If you feel after you've listened to me that you would benefit from a one-on-one session, then please see my link below. I do see for private Zoom sessions for those of you not in residence in South Africa or Cape Town. But for those of you in Cape Town, please drop me an email and let's meet if you feel it will be of benefit. So let's get straight into the topic at hand, right? Coming through the equinox and the recent full moon, it is clear to me that we are being asked more and more and on a deeper and deeper level to really acknowledge and be accountable for us as being co-creators. So some of my teachings from the White Rose, and that playlist is also in my channel if you wanted to watch, really spoke about how we are as the human vessel, as each individual, co-creators of the universe. Every breath we take is the creative force of the universe. And whilst this might be a bit difficult to comprehend when you start looking at your human thoughts and, oh my God, my habits, and oh, I do this and I do that, and I'm a terrible person or I'm a good person, and step into the mind chatter and the belief system and the thought patterns, let's just for a moment really sit with the idea that with every breath you take and breathe out, with every word you speak, with every thought you think, you are holding, emanating, creating universal energy pathways that are part of our global energy framework, energy system. That's quite big, right? Oh gosh, I'm personally accountable for what goes on out there. Yes, you are. The fundamental messages that were delivered to us or attempted to be delivered to us through all of our sacred texts, and the current spiritual language of Christ consciousness and ascension is really all about an innate understanding that we are a vessel for the divine life force. And it doesn't have to get overcomplicated, right? It is actually very simple. And if each one of us actually took accountability or made choices that were aligned to speaking the right words, emanating kind, compassionate energy, then we could in fact change the world. And whilst listening to me, you might be thinking, oh my God, I don't even know how to start that. I'm going to ask you just one or two small things to consider on this path of spirituality, because we are in a place of finding our soul. We are in a place where humanity as a whole is being asked to reconnect to that spiritual aspect, to that energetic aspect, to the soulful aspect, so that we can move to a planet that holds a vibration of peace and harmony. And yes, we have a long way to go. But let's not become distracted about what is happening out there. Yes, feel compassion, feel empathy, but don't underestimate the power that you have as a puppet, as an animated expression of consciousness to change your own field and the fields around you. So the thoughts often are much more complicated, right? And we find it difficult to mess with that or change that. It is a process, and we need to. But I want to focus on something that is really quite simple, and that is the words you speak. Because if the breath is our life force, which it is, because if we don't have the breath, our body just becomes ashes, turns back to the earth, and our soul moves on somewhere else. The breath holds our life force in our physical body. And it is the power of the breath we need to be working on to help us anchor. So again, I've said this many times, coherent breathing, which is taught by the HeartMath Institute. When I was a qualified HeartMath coach, I used it with my team in corporate and other people to help them become more aware of the breath. It's the coherent breathing that people like Dr. Joe Dispenza use, right? It's a simple technique. One doesn't have to look outside of yourself to build that. One doesn't have to do hundreds of dollars or pounds, rands worth of courses to learn that. Coherent breathing is our natural state. It is the state of nature. It is the state of homeostasis. So when coherently breathing and becoming more aware of the breath, I want you to consider that exhalation, which is used through the voice box when you speak a word, is as powerful as someone casting a spell. Because it is. Because essentially we use sound, which is also the secret language of the universe, right? We use words which contain sacred symbols or symbols. And with each exhalation and the speaking of a word, we are sending out energetic tendrils or spells for the better or for the worse. So I want you to check in on my breath, on my spoken word. What energy is being carried? What spell am I weaving, am I casting? Because when you speak words of kindness, with respect and gentleness, you are weaving powerfully good, beautiful, angelic spells. But when you speak words of harshness, of judgment, of condemnation, and especially when behind that is an emotion or energy in motion of hate, anger, disrespect, it powerfully creates arrows, spells that find their mark and cause harm. I have to let that sink in a bit. They are arrows or spells that find their mark and cause harm. Including those words we say to ourselves, right? But just for today, to keep it simple, on our path to awakening or authenticity and connecting with our soul and opening our heart center, I am asking you to think about the words you use every single day. What words do you say to your children? What words do you say to your partner? What words do you say to your friend? And next time I want you to close your eyes and visualize that word, that sacred symbol, the energy is being transmitted out of your field. And it is creating the energy around you, around the people you're with, and ultimately the energy of the earth. Because this conscious network that has been existing for hundreds of thousands of years, that we are all part of, has been created by the thoughts, words, deeds, actions of humans that went before us. And let's face it, it hasn't always been good, right? And we are still dealing with many parts of the world that have very, very difficult aspects to deal with: wars, famine, genocide, poverty, hunger. And while we may not be able to go and in the click of a finger instantaneously uplift all of those people, we can and we must start individually taking responsibility for our words, thoughts, actions, beliefs. And today I'm just asking you very simply to consider the words you choose, to consider the energy, the breath along which you send those words, and to remember that as you do that, you are weaving a tapestry of consciousness in your environment, in our global environment. Yes, you are, darling, a co-creator of the universe. You are the breath of the universal wisdom and consciousness. And within each of you is your own cosmos, your own planetary system, your own heart center. This heart center is such a powerful place, and I work with it a lot in my meditations. So please ask questions or comments. Just start simply if you're overwhelmed by everything. Start with your own words, the use of your own breath, and the energy along which you send with the breath those words and to whom you send them. Positive mantras, positive prayer, positive intentions are also weaving golden threads of higher energy in the environment. So if you feel called to do that, then please do that. But please, I was going to say please. Start with taking accountability and responsibility for yourself. Start with choosing a field of consciousness that you want to hold around you that is also uplifting, that is positive, that is empowering, that is respectful. Respect for self, respect for others. So this is the message I wanted to bring to you today. Thank you so much for listening. And if you feel like you would like to engage with me more or attend my full moon, new moon, and end of the month conversations, then please consider joining my Patreon community of the White Rose. Excuse me. €9 a month, I think 127 Rand, I'm not sure. But it's a safe space. It feels like I can hold that circle very tightly. And anyone that is a member of my Patreon community will tell you that major healing work happens there. And if we can hold each other as a group with the highest intention, then we all lift up and we all move and change our vibrations to a place that is beneficial for all. So with that, I'm going to end off. I'm going to wish you all my love and blessings, and I hope you enjoy my videos. Like I say always, engage with me. Tell me what it is you'd like to hear more of. But these words or spells things is a biggie for me. I really have looked at that for most of my life. I work with it on a day-to-day basis, and I really feel strongly that that is a most powerful place to start changing